So today I really want to talk about anxiety. This is something that comes up for so many people on the spiritual path, myself included. I recently had an experience dealing with anxiety, and this was a bit of a foreign territory for me because I haven't fully experienced anxiety since roughly when I first awakened. When I first awakened, I was experiencing a lot of just panic attacks and just like feeling really intense energetically. And a big part of this was due to not learning how to understand my energy body. So today I want to talk about fear, my favorite topic, black hole thinking, and how to start healing your anxiety. Stay tuned. All right, so today I wanted to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is black hole thinking. Now, when we experience anxiety, what we're really experiencing is the mind is moving faster than the body. So, for this scenario, I recently had swollen lymph nodes. And because I had swollen lymph nodes, I started feeling like it was harder to breathe, it was harder to swallow, and I kept getting stuck in this story of, oh my God, I feel like I can't breathe correctly, I can't swallow correctly. And it was causing this just unnecessary anxiety about my lymph nodes. And it kind of kept me in this loop of like, oh my God, what if I can't breathe correctly? What if something happens and I choke when I swallow? And it's just like all these little scenarios kept playing on repeat for me. And this literally just happened like a week ago. And so what happened is I kept getting stuck in this story of what would happen if I couldn't breathe correctly and what would happen if I couldn't swallow correctly to the point where I choke. And now normally what I would do is I would start questioning that. It's like, well, why is this really coming up for me? And that's exactly what ended up happening is I got so fed up with it. I'm just like, okay, resistance, like what is going on? Like higher self, tell me what is going on here. And I couldn't sleep one night because it just like it hurt and I was just afraid to sleep. It was like the weirdest feeling. And because I was afraid to sleep, I kept getting more anxious and more anxious and more anxious. And you go into all these like negative scenarios. And then what you start realizing is you're future tripping. You're thinking about all these things that could possibly happen in the future. And then your imagination starts working against you. This is all black hole thinking. And black hole thinking is where we let ourselves be basically caught in the illusions of time. And this was a topic that really inspired me from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So this inspired me from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And basically it was his writings on the illusion of time that got me to coin this concept, black hole thinking. So what is black hole thinking? Well, when we're experiencing anxiety, fear, doubt, any form of resistance, what we're really experiencing is this illusion of time. And so when I was stuck in the illusion of that, oh my God, I can't breathe correctly, I can't swallow correctly, what if I choke? I was really getting stuck in the time balance. And this illusion of time is really fascinating because we find ourselves basically future tripping on what could potentially happen but isn't happening. So it's like the mind is moving faster than the body can handle. And as the mind moves faster than the body, we kind of go into this spinning mode, this recycling mode. And so what black hole thinking does is we recycle things. And what I really came to find with this is I was having this bad anxiety. And then what I started doing is I started questioning it, like, okay, well, what is this really about? Why is this showing up for me? Like, what is really coming up here? And it all came back to this, I was healing something in my throat chakra. And then as I dug a little bit deeper, I'm like, well, what memory is really coming up for me right now? And then it brought me back to a time where I was in the hospital when I was very young. I was like 6. I want to say it was 6 or 7 years old. And I had trouble swallowing pills. And because I had trouble swallowing pills, I got dehydrated and ended up in the hospital for a week. And it was a really traumatic time for me. And that became a memory that I associated with. And then it brought up a memory where I almost choked on a peppermint candy once when I was little. And then it also brought up a memory where, because I couldn't swallow the pills, I always had this fear of like, what if I swallow wrong? It's just, you're a kid. You never, it's like, that's silly. But back then it wasn't. So that became a memory and it became a fear that I associated with. So when I had these swollen lymph nodes, I was getting stuck in this memory. So what I ended up doing was higher self guided me to question, why was I getting stuck in this memory? And a big part of it is in the background, I'm getting ready to launch my e-course. I'm getting ready to really step up and be a spiritual coach because it's a group coaching program. I'm really ready to voice my truth. And so all of this stuff came up for clearing because I'm about ready to step up more. I'm starting to up level into being a spiritual coach. I'm starting to voice my opinion and voice more authentically, such as I'm doing now with video. And all this stuff kept accumulating. And a big part of that was healing that memory from when I was little. So here's where it gets interesting. So why do we have these fear associations? And what is anxiety really? Well, the energy behind anxiety is time. The energy behind anxiety is time. What I mean by that is we create this black hole thinking. And as we create black hole thinking, we're getting ourselves stuck in a memory of time. For me, it was I got sick, I was dehydrated, and felt like I couldn't swallow a pill. That translated into an experience of anxiety from swollen lymph nodes. It could be anything, literally anything. And what that created was this realization that when we are in a place of anxiety, what we're really feeling is our mind dissociated from time. And the easiest way to heal our anxiety is through getting present, asking yourself, is this really true? Is this really true for me? And what memory is really coming up for healing? And I want you to start questioning, why is that resistance coming up? Why is it showing up for me? Resistance always comes up to help us. It may seem bizarre to think of it that way, but resistance is always coming up to show you that you have something to work through. You have something to up level. You have something to step into. Because resistance is a teacher and it will teach you how to move forward. And that's really the basis of what fear is fear is showing you what you need to see to heal and move forward. So how do we start curing anxiety? Well, the easiest way to cure anxiety is understand that you are being caught in the illusion of time. You are being caught in the illusion of the past and the future. You're being caught in the time lapse. You're being caught in the time gap, the time displacement from your body. The easiest way to get out of anxiety is to snap back into your body, into the present moment. Be mindful, be aware, be conscious, and question the resistance. Question, why is it coming up for you? Question, where did I feel this in my past? Where does it feel like in my body? Where is the association? Where is the fear associating from? And as the more we get conscious of this, we start to take our control back. We start to take our power back, and we begin to see that resistance is so much more than just fear or uncertainty. It is a lesson of love. It is a lesson of healing. It is a lesson of empowering our energy and empowering our vibrations. And through this realization, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. I healed my own anxiety in that moment. Like, by us learning how I created it, I was able to heal it and move forward from it. And this is really what anxiety is teaching you, is a lot of the times when we're early on in our journey, we have anxiety about energy. Like, we may feel like tingling throughout the body. We may see a vision of energy, like an orb, and find that frightening. We may see a vision of a spirit in some form, or even like a hallucination. This is all just energy. But our mind doesn't see it as something as familiar. So what happens is we create this anxiety of something that is merely just showing us ourselves. And that is really the true secret of resistance, is it is showing us more and more of ourselves. And as you start to heal those memories, then you start empowering your vibrations and empowering your focus. And I teach a lot of this in the toolkit, but I was so inspired from the story that I just felt really honored to share this. Is your anxiety is basically a choice. And a lot of people will be triggered by that statement. Your anxiety is a choice. It is a choice. And the easiest way to heal it is to get in alignment with time. Understand that you are not present in your body. And when we're not present in our body, we let ourselves go into future tripping. We let ourselves associate with the past. And as we associate with the past, we start digging into those memories. And as we dig into those memories, we start to create fear. And as we create more and more fear, we're just getting stuck in a memory. And as soon as you learn that you are stuck in a memory, you can easily snap back, because you just need to get present with yourself. That is how we cure anxiety. You start getting more and more present with yourself. You question it. You understand that that fear is not real. It is a memory. It is a memory. And as it is a memory, we can just laugh at it and just say, oh my gosh, this is so silly. This is something that happened to me when I was 6 years old. It's not who I am today. And as we do that, we are healing ourselves. We are moving forward with our energy. We are healing those blocks. And as you create that awareness, it starts really creating a different vibrational response. And as we create a different vibrational response, we start activating our anxiety. We start activating our energy body to heal the anxiety and to completely elevate our perception. And as we elevate our perception, that is when the healing really takes place, because you are able to choose again. And as you choose again, you choose a different vibrational response. It's so important to understand that anxiety is a choice, and it's a choice of choosing fear over love. And as we are aware of the time gap, we start to see that we can always choose love. We can choose to be more present. We can choose to be mindful. We can choose to question. And most of all, we can choose again. Always know that you can take baby steps in the right direction, baby steps in the right vibration. And as we take those steps, we create these subtle shifts that we need to understand ourselves and who we are. And most of all, empower our truth and our vibrations. Thank you. All right, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, subscribe below, and I invite you to check out the Spiritual Power Challenge. It's a 5-day challenge where we go over how to start identifying resistance through energy tools and how to start reclaiming your spiritual power. See you next time, guys.